It did get up to 65.
Oh, there you go.
I was gonna move to your area,
How are you?
and then I
I'm
said.
gonna stop here.
You know,
You're stopping here? I'm also going there.
Inside storm window. I
Now tell the other guy that's got stuff coming out.
And then I fixed it a little bit to the trim, and that diverted the wind.
Last year.
Okay, are we ready to roll?
Rock and roll. We're just sending out the CSO. Yes, I'll tell you as soon as I get it.
Okay, then we'll call to order the meeting of the Albany CSO full communities, November 14th, 10 o'clock. There's a roll call. I'm here from Albany. Gary Nathan's here from Coes. Bill Smart from Rensselaer. Andrew Golden's here from Troy. Nobody from Waterfleet. Maggie Alex from Green Island. And we've got Mark Stickleon and Tom White from CDRBC. And that's it. So welcome everybody. And first thing to look at is the minutes from the last meeting. If people had a chance to take a look at those. Any comments on the minutes? If there's no comments, gonna have a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Maggie, can I have a second?
I'll second.
Gary, all in favor? Aye, opposed?
I'll abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay, Bill's abstaining, he wasn't here. Motion passes. Financial report, I didn't see that on the SharePoint, but it was in the package here.
I'll double check. Sorry, since this is the first financial report for the new fiscal year, you can see that everything's at zero at this point. We did at end October, $158,500 in the bank because of a payment in from Albany for water relief, which has subsequently been paid out. So we're now back down to about $4,000 in cash. So we can't pay any bills at this point. And the only bills outstanding, unfortunately, are for us. So we'll work on that. Any questions on the numbers as far as they go?
Okay, so we get some disbursements in to get some bills paid, and we have some invoicing.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
We need to get some disbursements from EFC, and we need to get some money in from some communities that don't have EFC
Yeah,
disbursements.
so we need to, everybody needs to work on that.
And we're working on getting ourselves paid. We submitted a reimbursement for our DOS, local government grant.
Oh, yeah, did we get our POS in for 2023?
For the next term, they just released the new version of the local government efficiency grant. Have not reviewed it yet.
I think the last I knew, we were behind on asking for some reimbursement on.
Right, so yeah, we, since it's can be very complicated, I usually wait to do it on a yearly basis, aligned with the quarters that we operate in. So those have been submitted for the past couple of years, year and a half or so. So 2023 has been submitted, nothing for 2024 yet.
Okay, so that would help with bank account. And
So Tom, will you invoice us then?
Yes, I was mentioning to others, I have prepared a September 30th, 2024 listing of all outstanding invoices for each community, except, for you and for you. And as well, I've identified by project what those open items are. A third report will be every invoice that we've issued and what has been paid.
Okay.
So we can go from there, and then from a standpoint of requesting payment, I will submit those subsequent to that, saying, here's, as an example, we focused on Beaver Creek for a while. We're saying, please pay these. Right, so now we'll break it out by project, say, here's your open invoices for this project, please pay this, submitting the documentation along with the request for payment.
Okay,
So we'll do all that, figure the next couple of weeks,
okay,
everybody will be getting that. So as much as Mike is concerned about getting paid, because he's gonna get a bill.
That will make us back.
yeah, so we just trying to get as much this year as possible. So you know, water board and other folks probably want to get some things off their books if they can. They're showing us liabilities. The director's evaluation results. We you wanted to take a look at whatever's in orange?
You know, those are the somewhat agreed categories. Somewhat agree answers for only a couple of them. Board members are knowledgeable about the authority's programs, financial statements, reporting requirements, and other transactions. Then the most somewhat is individual board members communicate effectively with executive staff so as to be well informed on the status of all important issues. And another one that's commensurate with the first one I reported in the somewhat category, board members comprehend their role and fiduciary responsibilities and hold themselves and each other to these principles.
Yeah, and I think from my point of view, it's just there are a lot of loose ends that we have to clean up. And we're now trying to with EFC and Tom and I, things that disbursements from years and years ago that either never got to be dispersible with EFC, and now we're cleaning them up. I know we have a problem within Albany with people in our audit and budget office not knowing the whole long-term control plan, and then seeing things that go back years and years and say, what's this about? I don't understand. But I think if we clean up with like Albany's first tranche of funds and Troy's first tranche of funds, and get on a better basis with the second tranche of funds, which those were also like the years up to 2018.
Right.
Although your second tranche got you the rest of the program. But there was a lot that never got requests for disbursements that we're now trying to get. I know there's still stuff that from Fleet Street and Columbia phase 2 perhaps that are Troy's stuff, although I think maybe Paul Johnson was trying to help us clean some of that stuff up. So anyway, we're getting down to there being fewer projects, and hopefully we can catch up with these older ones, and it'll be a little bit simpler with just a few projects left. But I think we'll be in better shape with how Tom's been doing the bookkeeping on QuickBooks and getting that organized so we're better.
So do we have to accept the evaluation?
Is the evaluation something requires board action? It doesn't say, but it kind of says so. I guess.
I think you need to acknowledge it in the board minutes.
Accept it.
So I think that's the problem.
Okay,
It's kind of,
so a motion to accept the evaluation results.
I'll make a motion.
Gary, second?
Second.
Yay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Vendor invoices. Got a long list. A lot of them are Van Buren Street. And then there's some CDMPC, Little C, Carcatus, CDM Smith, Beaver Creek, DeJesser, and Luizzi on Van Buren Street. I think we still have a problem with Luizzi. We still don't have that dispersible. We're still working with
yeah,
Brenda Lee on getting the waiver.
yeah, so I sent that to the utilization plan and that stuff, right, the DB thing, so I sent that to her directly, and I haven't heard back from her. Before I wanted to make sure that was the correct stuff that she was looking for before I forwarded it all to the group. So I'll follow back up with her and see what's going on with that.
But do we need to issue completion? Is that substantially complete because the completion date's coming up for December 1st, or is it December 15th? I forget.
I think it's December 1, and then I know that the Campbell's Ave stuff is due, I think they gave us to the 15th to hone that and get that in tomorrow, so.
Okay. And yeah, did we get Arcadis's utilization plan squared away for? We'll see.
I know that they were working on it. I was out of town.
They had proposed subcontractors, right, to,
Right, yes, yeah.
but they needed DBEs. I don't know if they needed to get away from that point of view.
On that one, that was for the design portion. And they did have subs and everything else. The person that had been working on it, though, she went out on maternity leave. So Arcadis had somebody pick it up. And they were working on it. I have not seen, that was not in basket though when I got back. So I'm gonna have to double check, see where they are on it.
Yeah. Well, let Arcadis know that if they want to get paid, they need to get their utilization plan taken care of.
Mhm.
And yeah, and the Albany bill for digesters is all going to be out of grant, so there's no other community share on that. So can I have a motion to approve the payment of the invoices once we have this dispersible, once they're dispersible?
I'll make a motion.
Second. Bill, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. EFC disbursements and reconciliations. Andrew, I did send in, trying to get disbursement on your original tranche.
Okay.
And Paul is contacted me back about getting some clarifications on some CDRBC invoices, which Tom is helping to gather that together, because there's the invoices and then there's DOS grant money that gets applied to them. And Paul was confused over some of that, so we're getting that. But I think Paul was saying he should be able to release $600,000 or $700,000.
Okay.
So we'll get that soon. And I know the 4 communities that are involved in Beaver Creek financing all got paperwork to be signed for the long-term finance, and I think everybody turned that stuff in.
Yeah. Yeah, we turned that before I went on vacation.
So I don't think there's too much to discuss about EFC, project updates. Beaver Creek, ever since we got our disinfection working, it hasn't rained.
We're in a drought.
Yeah.
It's not going to for another week.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to be, into our dose response testing, and we're gonna probably have to ask DEC for another year's extension on that program, because we were supposed to have it done and then a report by the engineers, and it's hard to predict when it can really be done at this point, so.
Yeah.
And we'll be into winter. We haven't really decided if there's gonna be some period in the winter when we're not gonna be wanting to run the screens. Because the whole thing is underground, we have it set up for like 6 air changes an hour
Mhm.
in that space, but no heat in the room with the screens. I mean, we take a lot of heat.
Yeah, that's true.
So we don't know if it'd be not a problem with the screens, if we were at like 10 degrees below zero or something, and we're putting cold air through there, and because these are 4 millimeter spacing screens with a mechanical device that wipes them to keep debris from being in them.
You gotta make them into heaters.
We thought about whether we could set up some sort of nozzle system to put tempered water on it or something.
Right.
But that wasn't part of the original design. We might have to look at that, because we're supposed to do screening only in the winter and screening and disinfection in May to October. So they're really good screens. They can really screen down to a small size, but we already had one jam up. There are multiple of these screen wiping systems. We already had one break because it got jammed and it ended up breaking, which wasn't really supposed to be how it was designed. It was supposed to be some sort of overtorque protection to keep breaking itself, but so manufacturers come and take a look at that. But we're right now we're finishing up with Arcade. Arcade is doing the PLC program. So General Controls only had to provide the equipment, and Arcadis was doing the programming, and they've been finishing up their part and getting our core residual analyzers running and sample pumps working. Most recent stuff. So that's Beaver Creek. We haven't really gotten too much into our final projects with eliminating 2 CSOs, but that'll be coming up next. So Troy, how's your 2 projects doing?
Good. Van Buren, I'll check with Jake, but I think we're done. We paved and we're out of there. So I gotta figure out the notice of completion stuff that you had mentioned.
You're
For that and
gonna do your substantial completion.
Okay. And then I'll
I
have,
guess let Martin know that we're ready to do the
okay,
letter of compliance, certification of compliance.
Yes, sir. Yeah, exactly.
that sounds fun. Can't wait to do
It's
that.
one sheet, and
Yeah,
box is checked, and you gotta just sign your solo, right?
I like that. Okay. I do that a lot. That'll be no problem. So that's going on. As far as Campbell Avenue. Darcy from CDM sent me the new plans to look at for that yesterday, and that'll be submitted to EFC and DEC today. I told her I'd review it when I got back from here. So I'm gonna look at that and say, go for it, and then that should be satisfied as well.
That's got a April notice to proceed date.
Great question. I'll take a look. But I know that I was so focused on my October 14th, which then they wanted to a revision of what we submitted. So then we'll get that done and then we'll figure out for. I don't see where it's gonna be like a very large project. I think it's gonna be maybe 60 foot of pipe replacement and then also some lining on that portion of the sewer. So
Yeah.
conveniently, we just paved it.
Yeah, just, the consent order. A lot of them would have a April. 1st,
April.
April 1.
Yeah,
Okay.
April 1 notice to proceed, which means you should already have awarded your contract.
And all that stuff. Okay.
And Gary, your projects,
Okay. Surprisingly. In my inbox was a comment letter about Little C. On the plant specs that we submitted. It was funny because I had my CSO, BMP CSO inspection. Last week. And I was talking to Bonnie. And I told Bonnie that, hopefully we'll get a reply quickly. It's already been in your DEC EFC shop for a month plus. But I said, I would like to bid this thing in the springtime, actually before then, I'd like to do it in February. Because we've got that April 1 date and I've got to have an awarded contract. So I said, if we don't hear from anybody, we're going to go on out to bid. And then if you got any comments, we'll try to put those in an addendum. But the clock is ticking. And then last week, all of a sudden, we got a comment letter. So, which is terrific. I checked with Arcadis. Arcadis is currently working on those comments. I glanced at them. I don't see anything major in those comments. So hopefully, maybe I can bid it in January.
yeah, that would probably be a good timing for.
Exactly.
Contractors.
Yeah, then they might be hungry. For Manor Avenue sewer separation. Got a meeting next Thursday with CHA. And we're gonna go on over. What they found. We had a TV, some sewers. Had come up preliminary with some ideas on what we're gonna do. We did find some restrictions. So we're gonna hash that all out hopefully next Thursday. So. And we got notification going back to Little C. That we got the WIA grant.
Oh, good.
All right, so that's like $433,000 towards the construction.
You're gonna get grant only,
Yes.
that'll cover your share.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're gonna do bands for the project.
Yeah. Well, that's my plan. I gotta talk to Mike for him because that's what we've always done. So I just have to put him in a good mood.
Yeah, we started actually to be working pretty well with EFC to do things more on the cost incurred. The only problem we had on the Albany side was we could get the money pretty quickly from EFC on a cost incurred basis. We couldn't necessarily get City Hall to pay the bills right away. Which is kind of a funny situation to be in, but the way the bureaucracy was working with, we've got like pre-audit and audit and budget approval before something goes to treasury to be paid. And then people changing.
Well, that hurts when you get people changing.
So that's gonna be it down, Beaver Creek, we still have to do our post-construction compliance monitoring once that's done, but I think we're gonna have to be talking about that being 2016 now, because if we're we're really, gonna be still in the dose response testing.
Right, you gotta get that, you gotta get over that hurdle, get the report, you should get that all approved. Before we can think about doing some, but that might be okay. Because, possibly maybe the Albany County Sewer District. May have more people, because I know right now, the district's hurting, so, that delay might actually help us, because. Right now, if we were gonna do it next year. We would not get the same amount of. I shouldn't say cooperation, but the manpower from the sewer district that we had prior.
We'd have to charter a boat. Anybody here have a yacht?
Yeah, right.
How about the captain, JP?
Perfect.
That would
I like
work.
that. Yeah, yeah. can think
We have a
of that.
fireboat.
I go for the jack, captain, Jim Bay.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Okay, yeah, Bonnie and crew are doing our annual inspection today.
Really? Okay, good luck.
Any other business?
I see a budget.
Yeah, I included the budget in here because the last budget that was circulated did not have the correction for the insurance was increased. So I'll double check that that's out on SharePoint as well.
Okay,
But I just included that in so to make sure that you all were aware that it was updated. The other business issue that I wanted to bring up is we're in the middle of the audit. The auditors will be here next week. We expect that to wrap up very quickly. I would assume we have an audit committee meeting at the next board meeting.
will the audit be completed by that time?
Yes, it must be.
Okay.
Yeah, because we need to, it needs to be completed for the December meeting so that the Paris reports can be filed at the end of the year. So that, so we have that
So we're
hard
not
deadline.
on the naughty list.
So I expect that the audit will be pretty much wrapped up by the end of next week. Then the auditors put it into peer review and all that sort of stuff. That takes some time, but they're planning to be here to present on the 12th of December. That's already on the auditor's calendar. So I presume that they wouldn't do that unless they had good feelings that it would be done.
Yeah, who's on our? I had Maggie, Andrew, and Gary on the audit committee.
Yep.
So next time. We'll have something to look at before.
I'll send it out to everybody before, and as soon as I get it, I will send it back out. That's, I presume that will be well before the meeting, but it's out of my control.
Okay, anything else? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Maggie, Gary, all in favor?
Aye.